The next topic that we are going to discuss is the flow control. So far what we have seen is a sequential execution of the program. It means that we will retrieve the input, that is we get the input from the user. Next we will process that input and we will generate the output. This is a sequential flow. But now when we want to check for any conditions, then there is an alteration in the flow of execution based on the condition is true or false. So that is what the flow control comes into picture. So this flow control can be achieved in two ways. One is the decision making statements and another one is the looping statements. Let us see about these one by one. So in decision making, we will just execute a condition. If the condition is satisfied, some part of code is executed. If the condition is not satisfied, some other part of the code is executed, and the flow goes like this. So this decision making statements is achieved with the help of if statements. So there are many flavors of if: a normal if statement, if else statement, if else if statements, and nested if statements. A if statement. This is what is the syntax of if. If, then we give a text expression, that is any conditions, and then it is followed by the colon. If this condition is satisfied, what code should be executed, that is given here. So this is the flow chart explanation. First we will check for the text expression. If the text expression is true, then the body of if is executed. If the condition is false, then that body of if is not executed, the flow comes over here. So this is what is if statement. Here is an example. We are going to get an input number and we are converting it into float and assigning it to num1, and we are going to check whether the number we pressed is 0 or not. That's all. So now we are going to just give if, and the condition is num1. This is the equality checking operator, double equal to symbol, and then 0 colon. If this condition is true, I am just going to print it as 0. If not, I am going to come to the end of the program, that is. So this is what is the sample outputs. In the first input I give 12. So 12 equal to 0, the condition is false. So it does not get inside, it is 0. It prints end the program. This is what is the output. In case if the number input is 0, then it checks 0 equal to 0. Yes, the condition is true. So what happens? It gets inside the if condition, the if block, and prints it is 0. And next the control comes to the next statement, that is the end of the program. So this is what is the if statement. Next is if else. So here there are two control blocks. First it checks the expression. If the condition is true, the body of the if is executed. If the condition is false, the body of the else is executed. So this is what is represented in this flow graph. First we are going to test for the expression. If the condition is true, the body of if is executed. If the condition is false, the body of else is executed. So in this example we are going to check, we are going to find the greater number among the two different numbers given as input. So as usual we are getting num1 and num2 as the input from the user. Next we are going to check for the condition num1 greater than num2. So if num1 is greater, if this condition is true, obviously num1 is greater. If the condition is false, obviously num2 is greater. So if the condition is true, we are going to just print num1 is greater than num2. If the condition is false, we are going to print num2 is greater than num1. So this is the sample example. So the first input number we give is 5 and the second is 2. Here num1 is greater than num2. So 5 is greater than 2. In the second example, second output, first input is 3 and the second input is 4.5. when we compare, the second number is greater. So it prints 4.5 is greater than 3. Next is if else if. It means that if we have many conditions to be checked. So in the previous examples we have only one condition to be checked. But here, in case if we have many conditions to be checked, we go for if else if statements. So here it is else if is represented as ELIF and not else if. The meaning is else if. So the syntax is if the text expression is true, body of if. If not, it comes to the next statement else if. It checks the second condition. Again, if it is true, then it gets inside. If this is false, it goes on. We can have many else if statements, and finally we can have an else statement. If all the conditions are false, then it comes to the else part and executes the body of the else. So this is what is a flowchart explanation. So first it checks one condition. If the condition is true, it executes that body of if and comes out of that conditional block. But if the condition is false, it is going to check for the next condition. Again, if that condition is true, then it executes that body of else if and comes out of that conditional block. It goes on like this. So if all the condition gets false, then the body of else is executed and comes out of that conditional block. So here is an example where I am trying to find the greatest among the three numbers. So the input are the three numbers num1, num2 and num3. First I am going to check num1 with num2 and num3. So if num1 is greater than num2 and num1 is greater than num3, obviously num1 is the greatest number among num1, num2 and num3. If the condition is false, next we are going to check with num2 and num3. If num2 is greater than num3, obviously num2 is greater than num1, num2 and num3. If not, num3 is greater than num1 and num3. So these are the sample outputs. In this first, for the num1 is 6, num2 is 5, num3 is 4. So when it checks 6 greater than 5 and 6 greater than 4, the condition is true. 6 greater than 5 is true, 6 greater than 4 is true. So true and true is true. So it prints num1 is greater than num2 and num3. So 6 is greater than 5 and 4. In the second condition, second output, the first number is 7, second number is 9 and third number is 8. So 7 greater than 9 is false. So if any of the input is false to an AND operator, obviously the condition is false. So it checks with the second condition. Second number is 9 and third number is 8. 9 greater than 8. Yes, the condition is true. So what happens? It prints num2 is greater than num1 and num3. In the third one, the first number is 2, second number is 3 and the third number is 4. So the first condition fails, the second condition also fails. So it comes to the else part and executes num3 is greater than num1 and num2. Next is nested if. If we have a if statement inside another if statement, we call it as nested if. This example is to check whether the number input is a positive number or a negative number. So first we are going to check whether the number is 0 or not. Only if it is not 0, we are going to check whether it is a positive number or a negative number. So this if statement comes inside this if statement. So this is what is an example of nested if, a if inside another if. So this is the flow of the complete program. So first we get input for num1. Next we are going to check whether the num1 is 0 or not. If it is not 0, then we will check with whether it is positive or negative. So if it is 0, then we just say it is 0 and we come to the end of the program. Let us say our input is 6. If my input is 6, 6 not equal to 0. So what happens? It comes to this if condition and checks 6 greater than 0. Yes, the condition is true, so it says 6 is positive. So this if condition comes inside this if condition. So this is an example for nested if. So these are the example output of that example.